All right. It's good to see everybody. We're on day 39. Can't believe it. Feels like summer just ended. But it's been fun working through the fall season. Soon to be Thanksgiving here, so I'm excited for that. I hope everyone will have a special Thanksgiving to remember, even though things are very different. I have a set of 20s and a set of 10s, but whatever that you have kind of in between, the majority of the day is going to be spent with the heavier weights. So if you have 15s, that's a great option as well. What I'm going to use my 10s for, you can also go body weight. You can honestly do body weight for almost everything. So let's go ahead and warm up, getting our shoulders ready, our core. We are going to be continuing with our 3-2-1. So we're going to have 3 minutes we're going to go 4 different rounds, 3 minutes of a plank cycle. So a minute front plank and then a minute side. 1 minute on the side can sometimes be a little bit difficult. So there's a good chance we'll split it into 2:30s, or I'll try to remember to call that out. If you want to split it up, that's fine. If planks don't work for you, then you will hold a bird dog. So basically, you would just come to your hands and knees, extend your opposite arm and leg. So you would hold for 1 minute on the one side, hold for 1 minute on the other. And then for the last minute of the 3 minute round, I'm going to have you just do a hinge side to side. So you would plant into the hands, plant into your knees, and then it's like you're trying to do a little accordion move in your obliques side to side. So you're waking up those obliques. So let's go ahead. We'll go through our little warm-up round. We're kind of doing a yoga flow, making sure our upper body is ready for all those planks as well. I'll have you start at the back of your mat. Make sure you're working with your breath. Inhale, bring your arms all the way up. And then exhale, dive over those legs. See if you can keep them straight. If they need a bend for now, that's totally fine as well. Sometimes it takes a little while to get warmed up in the morning. All right, walk those hands forward, grabbing through that core. We're going to hang out in a downward facing dog. Go ahead and pedal your feet. Drive one heel down to the ground and then the other. Open the back of the knee as much as you can. Drive that heel down as much as you can. Level off your feet, grab your core, wrap your shoulder blades down your spine, and then hinge forward to your up dog. So quads are strong, glutes are strong. Open the chest, slide shoulder blades together. Drop your knees. Exhale, hinge back. Again, slide those shoulder blades down. Before we push up into our down dog, go ahead and just hit a quick hands and knees, and we're going to open one side and then the other. So trying to keep those hips level. Slide into those shoulder blades, really drive into the arm, that hand that's on the ground. So we need that support, that flexion around the tricep, control through the core. One more each side. Ooh, nice little back pop. Those are always fun. Okay, push into those hands, drive the hips up and back. And then we're going to go ahead and walk our hands all the way back to the feet. Come into a low squat. And then come all the way up. We're going to go through that same round one more time. Inhale, bring those arms up. Exhale, dive forward. Walk your hands out. Drive those heels down to the ground. Get that stretch through the back of the legs. Make sure you feel that connection in the upper back. Exhale, come forward to your up dog. If you want to put your knees on the ground, you can. Contract deep into those glutes. Open that chest. Drop onto those knees. Hinge back. Get your child's pose. Come to your hands and knees. Inhale, open the right arm. Bring it down. Inhale, open left. Two more each side. Get that little twist in the mid-spine. 2 and 1. And then walk back into that low squat. Okay, so like I told you, for our 3 minutes, we are going to be hitting up our planks or the bird dog. For the 2 minutes, we're going to be doing 1 minute of a move on one side. So each of the exercises have two sides, and we're going to do 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the other side. So it's going to be a single leg deadlift for our first round. So we're going to be hitting up 1 minute of a single leg deadlift on one side, and then we'll hit 1 minute on the other. And then our 1 minute to finish the round is going to be our cardio. So if you worked out on Monday or on day 36, we kind of did the reverse. The 3 minutes was cardio, 2 minutes strength, 1 minute core. So we are going to do mountain climbers for the first round. If you don't do mountain climbers, you're welcome to do high knees. It's for a full minute, so try to pace yourself to hold the minute. We'll go another round of planks. Then we'll hit a minute of lawnmower, so you'll hold your weight, pull that elbow. It's for the back. We'll go 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the other, and then we're going to have skips. So we're going to skip in place. One leg will come up, then the other. It'll make us feel like we're 8 again. Then we're going to have lunges. So we'll go 1 minute of lunges on one side, 1 minute of lunges on the other, and then we're going to have a 4-point pogo hop. So you're going to jump forward, back, right, left, forward, back, right, left. So it's just going to go like that for a minute. Of course, with everything, if you need to keep one foot on the ground, maybe just step forward, step side, step back, trying to keep it nice and quick. The last round is a windmill. That's what I'm going to use my lighter weights for. You can go one weight on the bottom and hold no weight on the top if you'd like. You're going to hinge forward. We're going to try for that full minute on one side, full minute on the other, and finish off with plank jacks. If you don't do plank jacks, you can just do a jumping jack on the top. All right, without any further ado, let's get started. We're going to go 1 minute front plank to start us off. Of course, if you need to stop and take some breaks and warm up those shoulders a little bit more, feel free. Otherwise, let's go. Ready, set, and go. So the timer's going to hit every minute, mainly because I don't have a fancy timer to do a lot of different types, like a complex interval, I guess. But it'll also let us know when to switch. All right, so get those shoulder heads way up, over, and past your elbow crease. Push into the forearms. Pull the forearms back towards your toes. So it's like you're trying to scrunch up your mat almost. Wrap your thighs around. So you're thinking about kind of taking the muscle from the outside of the thigh or from the backside, wrapping it around and tucking it in between. Also envision you're kind of tucking a tail between the legs, and then you're flexing deep into the belly. Deep, deep, deep. 4 seconds. We're going to turn to our first side and go. So here's our turn. So in order to get through 1 minute of a side plank, a lot of it is in finding flexion through the back. So if you're putting a ton of work into the shoulder, part of it may be that we just need to develop strength in the core so that it can hold and support your pelvis and body weight. And then, of course, it's also developing the muscles behind the armpits to help hold and support there. Okay, 30 seconds. If you need to switch to the other side now, you can. Otherwise, let's continue to try to hold. As you fatigue, if you need, you can drop, take a break, come back. You can also take your top leg, cross it over, and try to kind of push there. So that'll help just take, you'll still feel your oblique a lot, but that'll kind of help take some of the weight off of the shoulder. We have 3 seconds. Try to rotate without dropping. Here we go. Rotate over to the other side. Again, driving in through those back muscles. Try to push those hips forward, opening through the chest. And just like we flex through the glutes in the front plank, we want to flex through the glutes in the side plank. Still tucking that tailbone under, grabbing around the core. Okay, 30 seconds down. If you're switching, go ahead and switch back. Feel that chest lift up. Feel the body lift up out of that elbow and shoulder, so try not to collapse into that shoulder joint. We have 13 seconds, then we're going to go to our single leg deadlift. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Nice work. Okay, so coming up, I'm going to hold 2 weights, kind of level off, pick one leg. If you're holding one weight, you're going to hold the weight on the same side as the leg that's lifting. So if your right leg's on the ground, you would hold with the left. So a single leg deadlift is very similar to a regular deadlift, except that obviously you're putting all that work through the one side. Reach the back super long, and it's really key here that you keep the core really engaged. Otherwise, you're going to lose that stability in the low back. You'll start feeling it there. We only have 10 seconds left. We'll switch to the other side. All right, other leg. Keep flexion on that back leg. Nice and strong. Try to keep it pushing straight back behind you as opposed to swinging across, right? So in order to find stability, sometimes our body is going to shift up and get out of alignment. We want to try to keep it flexed into its place. Core holds strong. Keep pushing the chest up, squeezing those shoulder blades together. Only go so low as you can keep that flexion in the upper middle back and you don't begin to round. 8 seconds. We have mountain climbers or our high knees. 3, 2, and 1. So just 1 minute. Here's our heart rate. Trying to push it up. That's it. Shoulders over the wrists. Make sure your butt's not in the air. Wrap around that core. Keep lengthening through your spine. Try to find that edge. Pushing your intensity. Core stays strong. Final 10 seconds. Then we're going to go back to our plank. 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, plank. Forearms come down. Shoulder heads up over that elbow crease. I think this plank round might be just a little tougher. Kind of push your heels back behind you. Make sure you're not too long or too short. Flex deep into those glutes. That will help you grab more through that core. 15 seconds left. We're going to go into our side plank. Flex it in deep. 5, 4, 3, 2. Turn to that one side. Open up nice and high. Good work, good work. You could also hit an oblique V-up if you're struggling on the shoulders or in that side plank. But do your best. Find your challenge. Lift that chest. Slide the shoulder blades down. 30 seconds down. If you're switching sides, you can switch now. Take your brain to where you want the work to come from. So you want it grabbing through that lower side oblique. Front of the belly is still tucking, grabbing drawing strong. We've got it. 3 seconds. And switch, other side. Open it up. Tuck it in deep. Our next set after this plank is the lawnmower. So we'll be rowing 1 minute on one side, 1 minute on the other. Flex your legs. Flex through that oblique. Open through that chest. Envision you have a string. Oh, there's our 30 seconds. If you're switching, you can switch. Envision you have a string pulling that hip up. That's what we're doing. We're trying to drive the hip as high as we can, create flexion and arch in that lower oblique. 5 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. All right, come up for that lawnmower. So if you go left leg forward, right leg back, make sure the hips are squared off. Your back is nice and long. Elbow squeezes next to the rib cage. And if you need to stop and set it down, take a second or two, shake it out, come back, that's fine. As you get tired, as you fatigue, check in with that core. A lot of times when we grab through that core, you have better form, you protect the low back, but it really does facilitate strength and stamina. It helps get the work done elsewhere. 6 seconds. Pull with that lat and switch. Square off those hips. Make sure that you're staying stable through the upper back. Looking good. Remember to check in. Where do you want the work coming from? If you're pulling with the left, feel that the lat, right? The side of the back on that left side pulling, but you're stable, fixed, held, and flexed on that right side. 15 seconds, and then we're going to have our little skippity-doo-dah. Keep pulling, set it in. 3, 2, and 1. All right, little skip in place. You get your knee as high as you can. Use your core. That's it. Use those arms. Try to get some height off the ground. Awesome. After this, we're back to our planks. 2 sets left. 20 seconds to go. Keep the chest tall. You find what picks that heart rate up while still keeping the rest of the body safe. Whew, all right, plank on those forearms. If you prefer a high plank, it's fine as well. Tuck it in. Gather your breath back. Focus your inhales and exhales. Dig into those elbows. Elbows pull back toward your toes. Make sure your hips are in line with the shoulders or as close as possible. It may seem interesting or weird, but take a second to visualize. If you don't have a mirror or some sort of visual feedback, envision what this plank should be looking like for you. Feel those flexions to make it happen. Okay, turn to your first side. I'm going to start on my second side this time. Flex through both inner thighs. Open through that chest. Connect the mind with the body. The work is good. Breathe deep. Hopefully you're able to settle your breath by now. Halfway, if you're switching, you would switch now. 30 down, 30 to go. Flex in deep. Remember that string idea, pulling that hip up, but keep the chest open. 7, 6, 5. And switch to the other side. Rotate it over. Lift it up nice and high. All right, next up we're going to have our lunges. Holding weight or not, it's up to you. Or you can always start with weight and put it down. Lift up out of that shoulder. Feel the legs stay strong. Push the chest forward. Open your hip flexors. Halfway if you want to switch. This is your switch. Looking good, looking good. Can tell you guys have been doing your plank work. Everybody's holding on. Final 10 seconds. Keep driving those hips up. Stay in it. And time. All right. So one leg at a time. Hitting up those lunges. Set up your static lunge. I'm going to at least start with both weights. So square off your hips. Make sure the front knee tracks with the toe. Your legs are about hip width. You're driving through the front heel. So I want you to target the heat, the burn, and that front glute and hamstring. Where's the core? Keep it strong. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. You go low. Woo! As works for your body. You got to get your mind engaged. We've got it. Switch. Here we go. Other leg. Hit that minute up. The knee's going to pull just a little more toward the pinky toe side of your foot. Drive through that heel. Chest stays tall. You want the work coming out of that front leg. After this, we have our Pogo Hop, the 4 points, forward, back, side, side. Keep driving. Hinge a lot in that front hip flexor. Woo, we made it. All right. Forward, back, side, side. Forward, back, side, side. Keep that chest tall. You work your pace. Envision you have a little crossbar on the ground. I'm going to get over and back and side to side. I'm going to try to go other way. It's crazy. My brain doesn't want to go like that. Whew, we made it. Last round, plank. Forward plank, here we go. Excuse me. Whew. Tuck that tailbone. Flex through that core. It's our last 6 minutes. Check in with your mind. Keep it strong. Breathing strong. Make sure you're connecting to that core. See if you can grab a few breaths in and out your nose. 5 seconds. Turn to that first side. The side plank. Lifting up nice and high. Still making sure you're not collapsing into that shoulder. Once you have your setup, your flexed core, back, legs, glutes, focus the breath. Halfway. If you want to switch, this is your point. Feel the body lift away from the mat, up out of that shoulder. Seven seconds. 2, 1. Rotate, other side. Crushing it. Keep it up. Open up. Make sure your legs aren't too far away from you. Then it's difficult to get the height of those hips. Roll those shoulder blades down halfway. Still keep that tuck, the front of the belly, right? Tucking that tailbone under. Pushing through the obliques. 10 seconds. You got it. Hang in. Next up, we're going to have our windmill. So if you can, grab both weights. One arm up, one arm down. You're shifting your hips over and back. Still keeping control of that core. So make sure the arms are stacked. Looking good. The hips have to hinge over and you're kind of going toward the front. Otherwise, you won't get your range. Shoulder blade slides down the spine. Front of the belly draws strong. Make sure at the top you're not over pushing your pelvis. Find your stack. We have less than 10 seconds on this side. 3, 2, 1. Other side. Hinge it over. Oof. Nice job. Work with your breath. Make sure you're not grabbing in your neck. You should be feeling the oblique on the side where the arm is up. Your legs are flexed. Protect those knees. You got to work into the shoulder blade. So try not to let that upper arm bend. Work through that oblique. Nice job. Our last cardio is going to be plank jacks. Whew. Oh, made it. All right, set it up high plank. If you need to stand and do plank jacks, you can stand and do jumping jacks. Doesn't need to be super big, super wide, just flexed in. Halfway. Keep those shoulders over wrists. You got it, you got it. Last 10 seconds. 3, 2, and 1. Woo! Nice job. Hinge back and down. Stretch through those arms. Well done, well done. Gather your breath. Let's flip over. Oops, restarted it. Good work, everybody. Nice job with those planks. Hug your knees in. See if you can get your knees to touch each other. I just got a hip flexor pop. Those feel awesome. All right, extend your right leg long onto the ground. Lift the left leg up and then have it fall over to the right. Straighten through the leg. Put your right arm out on the ground. Palm is going to be on the ground. So you should get that stretch and your hamstring behind your knee if your leg is straight, and then into that glute. All right, bring it back over. And we're going to get a quick figure 4 stretch. So the left leg crosses over the knee. Pull the legs into the chest, flexing both feet. Press into those shoulder blades. Your pelvis pushes into the ground. And then we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Extend that left leg long. Tug your right knee into the chest. And then straighten the leg, stretch that hamstring. Flexing the foot. Slowly let it drop over to the left. Pulling behind that calf. Put the palm of your right hand on the ground. Open the chest. Roll that shoulder back. If you have a strap here, you could always use it. That might help a lot. Find that little twist in the back. So it might mean that you counter pull as you're pushing that right shoulder into the ground. The right side of your back is kind of pulling back down toward the ground too. You'll feel a little deeper stretch through the back. Come back to center. Cross the right ankle over the left knee. Flex both feet. Pull deep into the chest. Pushing your right elbow into the right knee. All right, go ahead and flip it over for me. Push into that downward facing dog. It's a good stretch for your back. Make sure the neck is relaxed, but grab the core. Then you're going to stretch those hamstrings. Feel your shoulder blades wrap down and the head drop even lower toward your mat. Deep inhale, open your feet nice and wide. Walk those hands back as you drop your hips toward the ground. Elbows into your inner thigh or knees. All right, another quick check-in as we come up. See if you can get your arms. I'm actually not very good at this. My upper back and shoulder mobility isn't super awesome. So technically, you should be able to get your back, head, and shoulders pretty much parallel to the wall and not leaning forward. Drive through those heels. core strong. Well done, everybody. Great work.